All right, so we have one more basic lesson before we move on to the main content of this course. Every time you practice or play along with one of these video lessons, you need to make sure that your viola is in tune. What I mean is you need to make sure that all four of these strings are tuned to the correct notes. For example, my highest string here, this is an A string, so every time I play this string, I need it to play the A note. In order to make sure that this string is playing A, I need to tune this string to A. Now, most violists, they can listen to their viola and know if it's tuned to A or not because they've been playing for so long. Since you're just starting out, what I recommend you do is download one of these apps here for tuning. This particular app is called Sound Corset, and it's a free download for either iPhone or Android. Now, what I want you to take a look at is the box in the middle where we have these different letters randomly showing up. Right now, the app is trying to tune to my voice, but watch what happens when I play the A string. It comes up as A. And that's exactly what I want, because this string needs to be tuned to A. Now, while it's playing A, I want you to take a look at the needle on the tuner there, the red needle just above the letters. While the string is coming up as an A on the tuner, that needle is coming off to the left a little, which means it's actually too low. We want that needle to be perfectly straight up. So in order to fix that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to these fine tuners down here. It's just these knobs on the tailpiece. There's one fine tuner for each string. Now right here, this is the fine tuner for the A string. In order to bring that needle up, I'm going to turn this fine tuner clockwise. Watch the needle as I turn this fine tuner. Okay, we got that needle centered now, which means our A is now perfectly in tune. So this was our A string. We're now going to go down one string to the D string. So when I play this string, I want to make sure that it comes up as a D. Okay, it's coming up as a D, but if you look at the needle, it's too far to the right this time, which means it's too high. So to fix that, I'm going to take the fine tuner down here for D, and I'm going to turn it counterclockwise to bring that needle down. Watch what happens. There we go. So now we got our A string and our D string perfectly tuned. We're going to go down one more string from the D to this string, which is actually our G string. So as you can probably figure out by now, we want this string to be perfectly tuned to G. Now you see it's not coming up as a G at all. It's actually coming up as an F, which means this string is way too low, because alphabetically speaking, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, F is lower than G. So we need to bring the string up. The thing is, this string has to be tuned up a lot in order to be coming up as a G. So instead of the fine tuner down here, I'm going to use one of these pegs up here. This particular peg right here, that's the G string peg. So now something to note is the fine tuners tune the strings a little, whereas the peg tunes the strings a lot. If there was a dangerous spot where you'd be at risk of breaking a string while tuning, it's while you're using the pegs and trying to bring it up. So I'd recommend always use the tuner to make sure that whatever string you're tuning doesn't go above its note. This is our G string, so I'm just going to tune the peg, and I'm going to make sure that this string does not go above G while I tune. Okay, so it's now up to G. Not quite perfectly straight with the needle though, so I'm going to finish it up with the fine tuner. And there we go. We got our G perfectly in tune. All right, so A string, D string, G string. We're now going to go down one more string to our lowest string, the C string. So playing this, it should come up as a C. And actually, it's coming up too low. It's coming up as a B. So I'm going to take the peg, bring it up until it comes up as a C on the tuner here. Okay, so it's now up to C. I'm going to use the fine tuner to bring that needle up. There we go. All right, now while we have tuned all 4 strings, it is good to go back and double check them because we've changed the tension quite a bit and that can affect the other strings. So let me check first the A string. Just a little low. I'm going to bring it up. All right, now the D string. Just a smidge high. Okay, there we go. Now the G string. There we go. And now for the C string. Okay, that was pretty good right there. All right, so that's how you're going to tune your instrument. Use the tuner. Remember that your strings need to be tuned to A, D, G, C, and also that use the fine tuners, tune it very little, up, clockwise for up, counterclockwise for down, and use the pegs when you need to tune the strings a lot.